Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are having a great morning today. This week is our last week of this great series that we've been going through called Break It Down. Next week, we are starting a new series called This or That, with the topic being comparison. So, if you want to join us, we are on Zoom at 9:30 on Sunday mornings. You can come join us, play a game, watch a teaching, and have great discussion. Then on Wednesday nights, if you want more social interaction, if you want more teaching, we are still running our Youth Alpha program that runs Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock. We watch the video on YouTube, and then we jump on Zoom at about 7:40 and have some discussion with our peers, with other people your age, and we're able to challenge our different thoughts about Christianity. So, if either of those sounded interesting, I really encourage you to come out. I understand that this time of life, in this season that we're in, you may be missing just some social interaction. You may be missing just chatting with friends or chatting with other people. And if that is you, I encourage you to come out to either the Sunday morning or the Wednesday night. I'm so glad you are with us this morning. Sunday morning. I pray that you guys gather something from this last teaching in this series, and I pray that you guys may apply it to your life. Thank you guys for joining, and I hope you guys enjoy the teaching this morning.
What's up, y'all? I'm Stuart, and I got a question for you. When is the last time that you tried to find an answer to something, anything? Maybe you wanted to know who invented the trampoline, or what NFL team has won the most Super Bowls, or what Starbursts are actually made of, because they get stuck in your teeth. You're like, what is that actually? You know what else I think about? Sometimes I wonder, why would they make Captain Crunch where it scratches the top of the roof of your mouth? What in the world did they make that way for? But then you have the other side of it, and it's like Cinnamon Life when you start eating it, and it's actually soggy 2 seconds into it. Can't they just make every cereal right in the middle of that? Anyway, chances are, if you're like most people in the world, you turn to your old pal, Google, just to find out the answer. Or maybe you went to Google's best friend, YouTube, somewhere where someone can give you the answers to life's biggest questions like those. When in doubt, I think we all know that the internet is the place that we can go for an answer to almost anything. Sometimes the answer is exactly what we're looking for, that's great, but other times it's an answer that can lead us in the completely wrong direction. I mean, the other day, I was playing this trivia game, and there's a question I needed to know the answer to, and the question was, what animal is faster, the kangaroo or the gazelle? Now I know what you're thinking. It's gotta be the gazelle. That's what I'm thinking, because gazelles have to run away from cheetahs. And cheetahs are the fastest animal in the world. So if the gazelle can get away from the cheetah, then the gazelle has to be faster. But you know how trivia goes. It's a trick question. So no, it's a trick question. They want you to think that, and it's actually a kangaroo. So I couldn't figure it out. I was running circles in my head. So of course, I went to my good friend, Google. So I search which animal is faster, and I just click on one of the links, and it tells me the kangaroo is faster. Oh, I got it. It was a trick question. So I answer kangaroo, and you know what the answer is? It's a gazelle. It's a gazelle. Of course it's a gazelle. They run from cheetahs, but the internet lied to me. Google was wrong. Can I make a confession, like just between us friends? Sometimes I treat the Bible a lot like I do the internet. I know it's there when I have a question or when I need an answer, and when that happens, I go to it and I start looking. I start searching, and sometimes I find exactly what I'm looking for. I find some encouragement, I find some wisdom, some help, some kind of answer. And other times, I end up getting completely and totally lost. Maybe you've never turned to the Bible when you've had questions, or maybe you're like me and you've used the Bible as a quick way to get some help or some answers. Either way, I think it's true when the Bible tells us what we want to hear, we love it. It's the best. Of course, I knew that was true. The Bible said it was true. When we find a verse that helps us feel better about what's going on with our parents or our friends or school or a passage that comforts us through a breakup or a piece of wisdom that lets us know that we're making the right choice about our relationship. Then we feel great about going to the Bible. But when we search through the Bible and it tells us something we don't really want to hear, or it doesn't give us direct answers, we get frustrated. It's like, gosh, I really need to know the answer. The Bible's supposed to be the place where we find it. Like when we don't find anything that directly relates to the specific friend drama that we're dealing with, or this thing that we're navigating with our family member, when it doesn't give us the specific answer, or maybe we find a verse and it makes us feel like we're actually making some wrong decisions and we don't really love what it says, or we read something that's just completely and totally makes no sense whatsoever. We feel confused, we feel lost, we feel like we don't have any direction. And I don't know about you, but I don't think the Bible is supposed to make us feel any of those things. And that's usually when we start looking for answers in other places, because when we don't think we'll find what we need in the Bible, we go to our friends, to social media, to other siblings, even to trusty old Google. I was thinking about Google, the word Google, the other day, and it's such a weird word when you really think about it. Google. We keep asking and looking until we get the answer that we want. And if we don't find it in the Bible, we'll end up going and looking elsewhere. Or in some cases, honestly, we just want to find some place that will give us any answer at all to our questions. At some point, I bet each of us has asked ourselves this question: why would I read the Bible when I can just find answers to my issues or questions on YouTube or Google? If this is what you're thinking, I totally get it. So does everyone around you. Finding answers in the Bible isn't always easy. We don't always feel like it's helping when we're reading it, but isn't that what it's supposed to do? Help us? Aren't we supposed to use the Bible to find all of our answers about God and life? Isn't that what we've been told about the Bible? The good news is that there actually is an answer to this big question. The question of how you and how we're supposed to use the Bible. It's an answer that I think will help you understand how to read it and what it can do for you. And it's an answer that we'll find in the Bible itself. One of my favorite books in the Bible is called Psalms. The book of Psalms is different than most books in the Bible because it's actually a collection of prayers and songs and things that people felt in response to their relationship with God. Most of the book of Psalms is written by King David, which most of us maybe have heard about David and Goliath, but actually he's one of the most influential and important guys in the history of our faith. He actually did a lot of writing. He wrote down his poems and his songs and his prayers about things that he was going through thousands of years ago, not knowing that today we'd be reading them to find encouragement and wisdom. And in one of those writings, we find the answer to this question: how can we use the Bible? Your word is a lamp for my feet, a light on my path. Think just for a second about the way light works. When you walk into your bedroom at night, what's the first thing you do? Look over, you turn on your light, because if you don't, you're gonna trip over your laundry basket filled with clothes that your dad asked you to put away last month, or your book bag overflowing with books and homework that was due yesterday that you probably should start with, or your soccer cleats, or who knows what you're tripping over, but you better get the light on first, because that's why you have a light in your room, to help you see what's in front of you when you can't see it by yourself. It helps you see the whole picture, because when night comes, you have to use the light to show you the path to take when navigating all the tripping hazards in your room. In the same way, the Bible helps us see more clearly. It guides us in the right direction. It shows us the whole picture. It doesn't just help us to see the answer to one question. It turns on the light to reveal the whole path, to give us the whole story. When we find ourselves unsure of what to do or where to go, we can turn to the Bible. We can turn on the light. Yeah, it's on. We can turn on the light. Simply put, the Bible gives us wisdom. It gives us the judgment to know what's right and what's wrong, which path to take in our lives. The Bible doesn't give us just a bunch of answers to our questions. No, it provides guidance and wisdom to make the right choices and to take the next right steps. The Bible helps us see more clearly. Who doesn't want to see more clearly? We all do. And we have the Bible at our fingertips all the time to help you and I see more clearly. And what's amazing is that the Bible has the potential to help us both now and in the future. Sometimes we find the wisdom that we're looking for right away or in the way that we expected, but other times we may have to keep going back to it or keep looking back or keep searching or keep praying or keep talking to someone who can help us find what God wants to say to us through His Word. But sometimes the Bible doesn't directly answer all the questions we have. Like sometimes it doesn't talk about all the things that we need help with. Maybe your exact situation isn't talked about in the Bible, but what I do know is this: we can always find something that's helpful, something that's encouraging, something that's comforting in the Bible. We can always find wisdom in it. And those things can be applied to our specific situations. So if you're sitting there thinking the Bible can't answer exactly what I'm going through, it can give you hope and comfort and direction. It can help you see your situation more clearly. Now, picture yourself back in your dark bedroom for a second. All right, are you with me? Picture it. Okay, you're with me. When we're trying to find our way around all the things that are all over the floor in our room, the tripping hazards, the things that we've been asked to clean up that we didn't, don't we go ahead and turn on the light? Like, we don't wait until after we've tripped or stubbed our toe or fallen down. No, the first thing we do is turn the light on. We don't walk in, trip, and then go back and turn the light on. We don't wait until something has gone wrong. We don't wait until we're desperate to use the light in our room. Instead, we have it ready to go and already at work when we need it. Well, I think one of the best ways that we can use the Bible in our lives is almost exactly like that. Take another look at a verse written in the same psalm. I have hidden your word in my heart. I have hidden your word in my heart. Hiding God's word in our heart means we keep it with us. We memorize it, we learn it, we know it so well that it stays with us always. Then when we need it, it's already there. We don't have to scramble to find it or wonder what it says when we're desperate. Instead, we have it with us. We already have the wisdom we need to show us the answer. Remember, the Bible helps us see more clearly. So here's the challenge. Here's the challenge to all of us. Don't treat the Bible like a quick fix or an online search engine where you just go when you have questions. Don't wait until you're desperate or things are falling apart to go to it. Instead, use it to see more clearly. Treat it like it's an invitation to help you, guide you, and provide wisdom. Treat it like the invitation that it is, an invitation to get to know God. Isn't that cool? You and I have an invitation to get to know God through His Word. That is so cool. And this week, I want you to accept that invitation. I want you to turn on the light. I want you to seek out its wisdom, to use the Bible as more than what you may have used it for in the past. And to do that, here are some easy steps that you can take to help you start, all right? First, try 10 minutes. Try 10 minutes. Commit to giving just 10 minutes every day this week to reading the Bible. You can start in one of the places we've talked about this series even, maybe one of the Psalms or maybe Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Those are the 4 books that are about Jesus's life. Or talk to your group leader about using the reading plans on the Bible app for this series to dive into God's Word even more. They're awesome. Wherever you decide to jump in, take just 10 minutes each day to read it this week. Start there. It's a great place to start. Then maybe next week, add a few more minutes and maybe a few more minutes, and build up time as you go. Second, talk to someone about it. One of the best ways that we can better understand the Bible and how to use it is to talk to somebody who can help us. That's one of the reasons that we have groups. We want to have a safe place to be able to talk about the Bible and ask questions and to seek out wisdom. But not only do we want you to talk to your group, we also want you to reach out to a trusted adult about using the Bible to see things more clearly in your life. For you, that might be a parent or a grandparent or a pastor or your group leader. Identify one person in your life that you can talk to about the Bible. Then reach out to them this week. Share a little bit about what you're reading and why, maybe even why you chose what you chose to read, and talk about how you think it might apply to your life. And then ask questions that you have along the way. Third, memorize it. Pick just one verse and commit to trying to memorize it. Now, I know that to some of you that feels like school probably, or you've never tried to memorize a verse in your life, but just try it. You can even start with one we talked about today. Remember, the Bible helps us see more clearly. You know, the reason that we're breaking down the Bible is because we really believe it has the potential to change our lives for the better. And that's what we want for each and every one of you. Now, as we close today and get ready to move to groups, I want you to think about this question. What part of my day would be the best time to read the Bible? That's all I got, y'all. Hope you have a great day.